All right, got some progress done on this 302. It's gonna be going in this 48 Ford here, hopefully next week or two. Pretty much got everything buttoned up. Got the front timing cover on. Got the oil pan on. Not super interesting stuff, pretty straightforward, so figured save the boring stuff. I am pretty much ready to go ahead and paint this. Pretty much everything you see is gonna be the engine color. The valve covers are just sitting there. I'm gonna use these different aluminum valve covers, so those are just there to keep the overspray out of the valve train. So yeah, got most everything taped off pretty good, like where the oil filter goes, where the fuel pump goes. Got the spark plug holes and exhaust ports plugged off. I'm gonna spray the whole top, pull the valve covers and take that rag out, and then I'll flip it over and do the oil pan and everything after that. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute when I'm done. Alrighty, got it all painted. Didn't turn out too bad. I did scrub everything down and prepped it all, did some brake clean, lacquer thinner. Like I said, this thing was already kind of hot tanked and everything. It looks kind of orangey on the video, but it is actually come on. Ford red. It's kind of a darker, between a bright red and a touch of maroon. Some people are probably wondering why I went red on this. Well, the truck itself is going to be red, so I guess it would kind of match. I don't know if I'm going to repaint the firewall. I'm going to paint the outside of the truck at some point, but it would be nice to kind of, I power washed everything out of here yesterday, so I figured I would go black on the inner fenders, black on the frame. I'm going to see if I can just wax, maybe buff it. It'd be nice to kind of keep kind of a little bit of the original paint, you know. So if I can get this to kind of darken up and shine a little bit just by waxing or buffing it, I think that'd be cool to have, you know, some of the original 1948 paint still under the hood. And then also, the engine that came out was red, because Ford engines were red up until, I want to say, the early 60s, like 61 or 62, because I had a 59 and it had a red Y-block V8. So period correct, it would be a red engine, and the transmission that came out was red, and even the completely hidden rear differential, I kind of power washed the whole thing. Power washed all the moss off the frame, power washed the cab out, took the windshield out. Everything looks pretty good as far as I power washed. So yeah, I'll take another video kind of flipped over with the valve covers and the intake on next. Alright, got the engine is all painted. I got the intake sitting there, and I got the valve covers sitting on there just for now, just to kind of get a rough idea of what they're going to look like. that should basically be what it should look like when it's sitting in the engine bay. I do have a couple sets of long tube headers that I will put on this thing. They are both a little bit different style, so whichever ones fit for how it sits in the truck, obviously those are going to be the ones that I'm going to use. The engine paint that I used is this VHT. I've had pretty good luck with VHT stuff, so just stick with what works. On the headers, I will use, they make a VHT flame proof ceramic paint. It's 15 or 1200 to 2000 degree, whatever it is. But that's what I'll paint those headers with. Next step is going to be mounting the bell housing, putting the flywheel and clutch on. And then I'm going to clean the transmission up a little bit more, mount it all together, and then figure out where it's going to sit in this engine bay. I got it cleaned up a little bit. I'd like to get it kind of cleaned up and painted maybe a little bit. At least paint right where the engine will sit immediately, and then I can kind of do the rest of the stuff. The plan is to try and use that transmission cross member because the brake master cylinder mounts to it, and from the look of it, the bolts that are coming through that cross member are the they are the correct dimensions for the transmission mount that goes on the transmission that I got. So hopefully that all works together well, and I don't know, we'll just see. I'm hoping when I go to mount this, I'm not going to have an issue with the motor mount cross member or K member. I'm hoping it's not going to want to sit right where that steering box is, but just another little update on the project. Sorry. I'm hoping with these videos, once they progress a little more, I'll get a better camera. I don't know. I have a little Ricoh wannabe GoPro, but the dang battery died on it, so just using my cell phone for now, which kind of a pain in the butt. Everything's backwards. Stick with me. I'm gonna try and do be a little better with these videos, be a little more charismatic, more entertaining to watch, I guess. Hopefully Christmas is this week, so got a long weekend there, and then probably another long weekend for New Year's. So outside of family stuff, hopefully get some work done on this pig. I do have some brake work to do. The master cylinder is bad, and I got new rubber flex hoses for at each. So from the frame to the, holy cow, to the spindle, there's a rubber line, and you know, God knows how long those have been on there. So obviously I'm going to replace those and check out the hard lines. If any of them need replaced, I'll go ahead and replace them. But and then hopefully by New Year's weekend I'll have this thing fired up at least. Probably not driving, but hopefully maybe at least started by then. That'd be kind of the goal, and just get disappointed from there. But you know, it's a project. Family comes first, so I get to it when I kind of get to it. So, but thanks for sticking around. See ya.